अभी नहीं पता है ओवरीज बननी है या टेस्टिस बनना है, लेकिन जो गोनाडल रिजेस हैं उनके अंदर क्या डेवलप हो रहे हैं, गोनाडल कॉर्ड लाइक थिंग्स आर अपीयरिंग, एंड कॉर्ड्स are present at cortex and they are present in medulla. These are seen in both the both male and female embryo till the indifferent stage. अभी हम बाद में देखेंगे कि in case of ovary the cortex of this genital ridge persists, and in case of males in testis medulla of this genital ridges it persists, and then it will be giving rise to. So in case of males, this medulla differentiates into testis, and in the absence of Y gene, this cortex differentiates into ovaries. So genital ridges contain what? Cortex and medulla. अगर टेस्टिस बनना है तो मेड्यूला परसिस्ट कर जाएगा, इट विल लीड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ टेस्टिस. अगर ओवरीज बनने हैं तो कॉर्टेक्स परसिस्ट कर जाएगा जेनाइटल रिज का, एंड देन इट विल फॉर्म ओवरी. So, ovarian differentiation requires the primordial germ cells, and failure if the primordial germ cells do not reach the gonadal ridge, streak ovaries or a fibrous kind of structure will be present in place of ovaries. So, primary, what is the structure of ovary? If we can correlate it with the development, tell me about the histology of the ovary. What is present in ovary at the cortex? What is present in the center? ओवरी में हम दो रीजन पढ़ते हैं, उसकी मुझे हिस्टोलॉजी बताओ. बाहर से अंदर अगर हम आएंगे तो ओवरी में लाइनिंग एपिथेलियम क्या है? Cuboidal epithelium that will be derived from the coelomic epithelium, and that is a misnomer कि it is not the germinal epithelium. तो जो अभी हमने पढ़ा कि coelomic thickening से क्या derive हो रहा है, वो ovary का epithelium derive हो रहा है. फिर cortex of the ovary में क्या है? Follicular, different follicles at different stages of development are there. So in the cortex of the ovaries, the follicles along with the this oogonium, they will be present in the cortex of the ovary. Then what will be present in the medulla of the ovaries? What is present in the medulla of ovaries? Blood vessels. The blood vessels will be present, or the connective tissue, the fibrous tissue that is present in the medulla of the ovaries. So this way the cortex, the primary ovarian follicle will be present. The follicular cells consisting of a single layer will be developing. एक फॉलिकल में अगर सिर्फ सिंगल लेयर है तो वो कौन सा फॉलिकल है? प्राइमोर्डियम है, प्राइमरी फॉलिकल है? प्राइमोर्डियम फॉलिकल. तो सबसे पहले जो फॉलिकल बन रहा है सराउंडेड बाय अ सिंगल लेयर ऑफ फ्लैटेंड सेल्स, ओगोनियम, दैट इज द सिंगल सेल लेयर. देन ट्यूनिका एल्बुजिनिया उतना कॉन्स्पिक्यूअस नहीं है, एंड एट द सरफेस व्हाट इज प्रेजेंट इज द जर्मिनल एपिथेलियम. दिस इज नॉट द जर्मिनल एपिथेलियम एक्चुअली, क्योंकि जर्म सेल्स तो कहाँ चले जाएंगे? दे विल बी फॉर्मिंग oogonia एंड दे विल बी प्रेजेंट इन द कॉर्टेक्स ऑफ द ओवरीज. यहाँ पे सिर्फ वो क्यूबॉइडल एपिथेलियम से लाइंड ही रहेगा. सो अगेन you can recognize this schematic diagram. These are the ovaries. Yellow colored ones are the ovaries which are developing. This is the suspensory ligament of the ovary which will be connecting the ovaries with the diaphragm, and then these are the metanephric kidneys, and then the mesonephric ducts. ये हमारा पूरा क्या है? यूरोजेनाइटल रिज है, जिसका मीडियल कंपोनेंट या जेनाइटल कंपोनेंट इज मेकिंग द ओवरीज, and the urinary component is making the mesonephric tubules, mesonephric duct. Here you can see an additional duct has appeared. That additional duct is the paramesonephric duct. That means gonads or ovaries are lying medial to the mesonephric duct, while paramesonephric duct is lying lateral to the mesonephric duct. So this paramesonephric duct will only develop in females, because in males there is an hormone, that is Mullerian inhibiting hormone. So this Mullerian duct will not form or it will form and degenerate and giving rise to certain structure. So this is the duct which will flourish, proliferate, give rise to uterus, vagina, cervix, and it will appear in the female. Then you can see, यहाँ पे ही देख सकते हो, is the uterus, I mean, there are two paramesonephric ducts, but is the uterus contains single cavity or it has two cavities? It contains a single cavity. So there will be fusion of these paramesonephric ducts in the lower part in females. Males में दोनों ही ducts, Wolffian ducts, जो दोनों ducts थी, they remain separate and they will be giving rise to two separate structures. And यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, paramesonephric ducts will be uniting and forming a single cavity. और क्या दिख रहा है, ovary के lower pole पे we can recognize the gubernaculum. जैसा हमने वहां देखा था, scrotum, base of the scrotum से लेकर and up to the lower pole of the testis duct, there was a cord-like structure that was guberna. Similarly, there is a gubernaculum in the ovaries also. And this gubernaculum will be giving rise to two main ligaments of the ovary. कोई बताएगा कौन कौन से? Round ligament and the suspensory तो बन गया, ovarian ligament. मतलब ovarian ligament and the one part of this gubernaculum will be connecting the ovaries with the uterus, and the other part will be connecting like from the uterus till the this labium majus. लेकिन पूरा का पूरे ovaries descend नहीं होंगे. Broad ligament अभी हम देखेंगे, it will be formed by the fusion of the mesenchyme around the paramesonephric duct. यहाँ पे same inguinal canal है या inguinal fold है. What is the content of inguinal canal in females? Round ligament. So that round ligament we can make out from here कि it will develop from the gubernaculum, because gubernaculum is passing through the inguinal canal or the inguinal folds and reaching up to the labium majus. So this is like the development of the female reproductive system. So now descent of the ovaries, it occurs to a certain extent, but then it is stopped. So primitive ovaries, they develop along the dorsal abdominal wall and they descend from their original position, which is at the level of thoracic 10 vertebra. लेकिन nerve supply हमने हमेशा देखा है, जहाँ पे कोई structure develop हुआ है, वही वाली spinal nerve उसे supply कर रही है, भले वो बाद में descend हो जाए या कहीं चला जाए. So originally it develops at around T10 vertebra. Then the gubernaculum of the ovary, this is the gubernaculum of the ovary passing through the inguinal canal, reaching up to the labium majus. It will be giving rise to the ligament of ovary, which will be connecting the ovaries with the uterus. And then the gubernaculum will give rise to the round ligament, which will connect the uterus with the labium majus. So gubernaculum will give rise to two structures. Then जैसे हमने वहां पे देखा था मेल्स में, there was a processus vaginalis. So if this processus vaginalis, it remains patent in females also, then it will give rise to a canal. That canal is known as canal of Nuck. जैसे वहां congenital hernia हो सकता था through inguinal canal, congenital hernia might occur in females also if this canal of Nuck remains patent. So there might be ectopic ovaries also. So just to summarize, कहाँ से develop हुए ovaries? The genital ridges appear by 5th week. The primordial germ cells, they have migrated along the dorsal mesentery to reach the genital ridge around 6th week. The indifferent gonads differentiate into cortex and medulla. The cortex develops into ovaries, and then there will occur somewhat descent of the ovaries till the lumbar region, but they have not descended to the scrotum, because that gubernaculum has divided into two structures, and that has stopped the descent of the ovaries. So there might be defects of the sexual differentiation. तुमने सुने भी होंगे genetically. कोई बताओ syndromes related to the this sexual differentiation and all. टर्नर सिंड्रोम, सबके दिमाग में पहले वही आता है, एक्सो. Then there might be Klinefelter syndrome. Related to the ovaries is the Turner syndrome, the XO. So gonadal dysgenesis हो सकता है, oocytes might be absent, ovaries then will be appearing as streak gonads. So it might occur because of the mutation or deletion of the SRY gene. Then Turner syndrome, in Turner syndrome, XO is the karyotype and phenotypically male, female, but the secondary sexual characters fail to develop because there is no Y gene, so the other things have not developed. Then short stature, webbed neck, high arch palate, all these things are also associated with in the Turner syndrome. Then hermaphrodites are the individuals who have characters of both the sex. There might be true hermaphrodites, but that is a very rare condition कि दोनों ही आधा आधा डेवलप हो गए, मतलब ओवरीज भी हैं, टेस्टिस भी हैं, ऐसा बहुत कम मिलता है. There might be female pseudo hermaphrodites or male pseudo hermaphrodites. In female pseudo hermaphrodites, what will happen? Genetically, it will be a female. Female pseudo hermaphrodite means genetically female but phenotypically male. But then in males, what will happen? Genetically male and phenotypically female. So this might occur because of the more production of the androgens and inappropriate hormonal treatment in pregnant women. These kind of conditions actually, if you have heard about this polycystic ovarian disease and all, in those cases also there is an hormonal derangement. So genetically भी हो सकता है, पर अगर hormonal derangement है, then also in a female the males like character, those might appear to a certain extent. Then hypertrophy of the clitoris will occur, and these will be the features. Now development of the duct system. So which duct is flourishing or developing in females? Paramesonephric duct or the Mullerian duct. अब क्या सिर्फ ओवरीज बन गए? ओवरीज किससे बने? जेनाइटल रिज से. उसका डक्ट सिस्टम से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. कौन कौन से ऑर्गन्स बच गए अब फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में? फेलोपियन ट्यूब, यूट्रस, cervix and vagina. So they will be developing from the paramesonephric duct. So primitive ducts are the mesonephric duct or the Wolffian duct, and the paramesonephric duct, which is appearing around 6 weeks of gestation, and it is developing lateral to the gonads. Here you can recognize the gonads. So these are the mesonephros, the mesonephric ducts and the tubules, and laterally ये जो blue colored structure दिख रहा है, these are the paramesonephric ducts. मेटानेफ्रोज भी दिख रहे हैं. ये येलो कलर्ड क्या है? वापस से hind duct and the cloaca. Dilated portion at the end of the GI tube is the cloaca, and the diverticulum arising from the cloaca is the allantois. And then we can recognize ये जो cloaca है, ये किस किस में divide? Cloaca is the common chamber for development of GI and urinary system. So its anterior portion को हमने क्या नाम दिया था? बसाइको-यूरेथ्रल कैनाल. उससे पहले क्या बना था? और थोड़ा ऊपर यूरोजेनाइटल साइनस. So urogenital sinus will develop anteriorly, and then the rectum and anal canal will develop posteriorly. Urogenital sinus हम क्यों कह रहे हैं? Because urinary system का part यानी bladder भी बनना है, plus some portion of the reproductive system will be derived from it. So urogenital sinus anteriorly, and then the rectum and anal canal, it will divide into rectum and anal canal posteriorly. Then you can see ये जो हमने वसाइको यूरेथ्रल कैनाल इसमें पूरा बनाया था उस दिन ब्लैडर में, टर्मिनल पोर्शन was the phallic portion. It will be giving rise to the penis in males. वो आज जब male reproductive system complete करेंगे then we will see. So paramesonephric ducts have appeared. So they will be developing. ये वही है जो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. कि ओवरीज डेवलप बाय डिफॉल्ट. अगर ओवरीज तो अगर कुछ भी नहीं है, अगर XO है जैसे टर्नर सिंड्रोम में हमने देखा, तो ओवरीज विल बी डेवलपिंग and these paramesonephric duct will also develop unless and until there is SRY gene which will be coding for the Mullerian inhibiting hormone. जब तक मुलेरियन, अगर सर्टोली सेल्स नहीं है, मुलेरियन इनहिबिटिंग हार्मोन नहीं है, तो पैरामीजोनेफ्रिक डक्ट ने बनना ही बनना है एंड इट विल बी फॉर्मिंग द मेजर स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ द फीमेल जेनाइटल ट्रैक्ट. So it's a longitudinal invagination of coelomic epithelium. Why it is longitudinal invagination? Because हमने देखा था जैसे mesonephric duct, pronephros, mesonephros, metanephros बन रहे थे, ये उसके laterally बन रही है, so it is developing longitudinally along the body of the embryo. So its one end will be opening into the coelomic cavity and the other end will be, its caudal end will be going to the urogenital sinus. So this is the paramesonephric duct. ये इसका cranial end है. Cranial end कहाँ open होएगा? It will be opening into the coelomic cavity and the terminal end you can make out, it will be opening into the urogenital sinus. So this way it is connected. And then we will be seeing two paramesonephric ducts will be fusing and at their termination a tubercle will be appearing. That tubercle is known as Mullerian tubercle. दोनों को fuse होना है because uterus is a single structure. अब मुझे यहाँ से ही तुम लोग बता सकते हो कि सबसे पहले इसका क्रेनियल पोर्शन क्या बनाएगा? यूट्रस बनाएगा, फेलोपियन ट्यूब बनाएगा, वजाइना बनाएगा. क्रेनियल एंड क्या बनाएगा? फेलोपियन ट्यूब्स. वहां से लैटरली स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि एक एंड इसका हमने बोला सीलोमिक कैविटी में ओपन है, तो फेलोपियन ट्यूब्स आर आल्सो ओपन इन दी सीलोमिक कैविटी थ्रू देयर फिम्ब्रिया. सो दिस एंड विल बी फॉर्मिंग दी लैटरल एंड ऑफ दी फेलोपियन ट्यूब. देन उसके बाद जैसे जैसे नीचे आते जाएंगे फिर क्या बन जाएगा? यूट्रस. पर जहां से यूट्रस बन रहा है वहां से इनका फ्यूजन स्टार्ट हो जाएगा क्योंकि फेलोपियन ट्यूब्स तो सेपरेट है. वहां तक दोनों डक्ट्स कैसे रहेंगी? दे विल बी सेपरेटेड. जहां से फ्यूजन शुरू हुआ वहां से यूट्रस विल स्टार्ट फॉर्मिंग. तो दिस वेरी, मतलब ऐसे देखा जाए तो बहुत इजी है इसका डेवलपमेंट. तो दिस इज द mesonephric duct, this is the fused paramesonephric duct and these are the two separate ducts. These are opening into the urogenital sinus and we can see the two ducts are fusing and they are forming a tubercle that is known as Mullerian sinus tubercle. It will be giving rise to the labium majus and all, we will see. So what are the derivatives of the duct? The derivatives of the duct are uterine tube, uterus and upper 1/3 portion of vagina. So whole of the vagina doesn't develop from this duct. And then its remnants will be in males appendix of the testis and prostatic utricle. कई बार तुम लोगों से एग्जाम में पूछ लिया जाता है remnants of paramesonephric duct in males. So they are the appendix of the testis and the prostatic utricle. It will be forming that also. तो अब uterine tubes जो हैं वो कहाँ से develop हो रही हैं? They are developing from the अब इस वाली ट्यूब को देख लेते हैं. ये ट्यूब पहले एक वर्टिकल पार्ट में है, उसके बाद एक हॉरिजॉन्टल पार्ट है and then again there is a vertical part. So this whole tube, the paramesonephric duct, it can be divided into a cranial vertical part and horizontal part and again a caudal vertical part. So the unfused cranial part and the unfused cranial part and horizontal part, they will be giving rise to the the fimbria, then the infundibulum and coelomic invagination इसका जहां हो रहा है, then the pelvic ostium will be developing. एक तुम्हें पता है जो longest fimbria है, that is elongated and a ostium is there. So now this picture is for the development of the broad ligament. ब्रॉड लिगामेंट कैसे डेवलप होएगा? द प्लेस वेयर द two paramesonephric ducts are fusing. पहले at the time of develop जब बन रहे हैं तो दो ducts हैं, then these two ducts they will be fusing. You can see कि they have fused. जब फ्यूज हो जाएंगे तो यहाँ पे ये जो सेक्शन बन रहा है वो क्या है, ब्रॉड लिगामेंट है. मुझे एक बात बताओ, ब्रॉड लिगामेंट ग्रॉस एनाटॉमी में कहाँ है? इट इज लाइंग अलोंग विच वॉल्स ऑफ द यूट्रस? They are lying along the lateral walls of the uterus and then they are going to the lateral walls of the pelvis. तो बीच में जब ducts fuse हुए तो उन्होंने क्या बना दिया, uterus. And broad ligaments are formed by the mesenchyme which is surrounding these paramesonephric ducts. They will be connecting the uterus with the lateral pelvic wall. तो ऐसे करके ये broad ligaments बन जाएंगे इससे. So second part of the paramesonephric duct, they will be forming what? They will be forming the broad ligament of the uterus. अब broad ligament of uterus जब बन गया है तो broad ligament के superior surface पे क्या है, uterine tubes है, and posterior to the broad ligament what is lying is the ovary. And then the pelvic cavity, these two pouches will also be formed by that peritoneum, the uterorectal and the utrovesical pouch. यूट्रस सेंटर में है, सामने क्या है, यूरिनरी ब्लैडर है, पीछे क्या है, रेक्टम एंड एनल कैनाल है. तो एक तरफ ब्रॉड लिगामेंट बना और सामने की तरफ उसी मेसेनकाइम से यूट्रोवेसाइकल एंड दी यूट्रोवेसाइकल पाउचेस they will also be forming. Now coming to the development of the uterus. So uterus will develop from the caudal vertical part of the paramesonephric duct. दोनों साइड से ये paramesonephric duct इनका caudal part fuse हुआ and then they will be forming to the this uterine cavity and constriction it occurs at around 9 feet. Now vagina, it will be formed by the caudal part. So but there are two sources of development of the vagina. You can see in the picture this uterine canal, ये fusing है दोनों paramesonephric duct और uterine cavity. Now vagina will be developing from a sinovaginal bulb. Sinovaginal bulb is uterovaginal sinus में जहाँ पे paramesonephric ducts open हो रहे हैं. At that place the vagina will be developing. So upper 1/3 portion of the vagina, that means this reddish colored portion, it will be derived from the paramesonephric duct, and lower 2/3 portion it will be derived from the sinovaginal bulb. And so it has got the two way origin, the uterovaginal primordium and the urogenital sinus. So two sources of development for the vagina. And then vagina also, the posterior wall of the vagina, you know that it will be forming certain fornices are there in the vagina which will go upwards and they will be going till the cervix. And the posterior fornix of the vagina is the deepermost fornix. So vaginal walls, they will be going upwards and certain fornices will be appearing around the cervix. Hymen develops from an epithelial layer of the urogenital sinus. So uterine tube, this is the summary slide. You can note it down क्योंकि तुमसे सिर्फ है ना sources of development ही पूछे जाते हैं कि इससे क्या बन रहा है. So uterine tube is derived from the cephalic vertical part and most of the horizontal part of paramesonephric duct. Uterus is developing from cephalic part of uterovaginal canal plus incorporation of segment of horizontal part. अगर नहीं याद रहे तो बस uterovaginal canal you can say कि then the vagina is developing from the uterovaginal primordium. Lower part is developing from endoderm of urogenital sinus. The external vaginal orifice is derived from the ectoderm of genital folds after the rupture of urogenital membrane. जैसे vagina की epithelium change होती, what is the epithelium of the uterus? In the uterine cavity, it is the columnar epithelium. And you know that in the lower portion of the vagina, which epithelium is there? स्ट्रैटिफाइड स्क्वैमस नॉन केराटिनाइज काइंड ऑफ एपिथेलियम. तो जहां भी इंटरफेस हो रहा है उसका डेवलपमेंट ही डिफरेंट है. So external vaginal orifice is actually derived from the ectoderm. Rest of the things are either endodermal or the because cloaca is endodermal, so there is an endodermal origin, and paramesonephric duct is mesodermal, so that is mesodermal origin. तो columnar epithelium से vagina का epithelium जहाँ इधर change हो रहा है, that portion is derived from the ectodermal derm of genital folds. So it is like that. So urethral glands and the paraurethral glands of skin are the additional glands in females. What are the remnants of the mesonephric ducts? They are the, ये भी जैसे हमने वहां पढ़ा कि appendix of the testis and prostatic utricle, they are derived from the paramesonephric duct in females. फीमेल्स में मीजोनेफ्रिक डक्ट्स के क्या रेमिनेंट है? अपेंडिक्स वेसिकुलोसा, एपुफोरॉन, पैराउफोरॉन, डक्ट ऑफ गार्टनर, ब्रॉड लिगामेंट ऑफ यूट्रस. They are derived from the mesonephric remnants. Then the hydatid of Morgagni is a remnant of the paramesonephric duct. गार्टनर सिस्ट माइट डेवलप, जो हमने नक कैनाल ऑफ नक या गार्टनर्स कैनाल देखा था, then that a cyst might develop in that canal, so it will be forming a Gartner cyst. What are the anomalies for the uterine tube? There might be accessory ostia. The tube might be there might be complete absence of it or segmental absence of it. There might be duplication of the uterine tube. यहाँ पे बस यूटेराइन एनॉमलीज में जो तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन यूनिकॉर्नुएट यूट्रस, बायकॉर्नुएट यूट्रस, सेप्टेट यूट्रस एंड डायडेल्फिस यूट्रस. तो यूट्रस डायडेल्फिस का पहले पिक्चर देख लो. ये दोनों ही पैरामीजोनेफ्रिक डक्ट्स जो हैं, दे आर सेपरेट एंड द कैविटी इज आल्सो सेपरेट. सो दिस इज यूट्रस डायडेल्फिस. So this is, it occurs because of the failure of fusion of caudal vertical part of the paramesonephric ducts, and it is characterized by a at the place of the vagina there might occur fusion, but in the fundus part and in the body of the uterus, both the body is separate, fundus is separate, the two cavities are totally separate. This is uterus diadelphis. Then in bicornuate uterus, what is occurring? The fundus part is separate, and then there has occurred fusion in somewhat upper part. So superior part is duplicated, a rudimentary cornu might be present. एक तरफ पूरा develop हो गया है, दूसरा वाला horn या दूसरी वाली duct जो है वो उतनी develop ही नहीं हुई है, पर यहाँ पे देखो fusion हो गया है. This is the bicornuate uterus. डायडेल्फिस और कॉर्नुआ में डिफरेंस समझ आया? Cornua is like horn. So if there are two horns in the upper part, then that is bicornuate uterus. And uterus diadelphis is like the cavities are separate till the vagina. So vagina even might be single or it might be double. That means two cavities might be there till the vagina. Then this is totally separate. This is the unicornuate uterus. क्यों बन रहा है unicornuate uterus? एक ही साइड का पैरामीजोनेफ्रिक डक्ट डेवलप हुआ, दूसरे साइड का fails to develop. So if only one duct develops, that it will be giving rise to unicornuate uterus, though the cavity is single. Then there is one arcuate uterus. यहाँ पे arcuate uterus में क्या हो रहा है? In the portion of the fundus there is an indentation. So this is arcuate uterus. Then there might be duplication of vagina, rectovaginal fistula, vesicovaginal fistula, or vaginal atresia. Why there occurs rectovaginal fistula? The septation between the rectum and this it is not complete. Cloaca में complete septation नहीं हुआ, so there might be rectovaginal fistula, there might be vesicovaginal fistula also, double vagina might be there. This is the rectovaginal fistula. The two chambers are common. The vagina and the rectum and anal canal, they are opening through a common opening to the external. Then you can see this is the duplication of the vagina. In the vaginal portion also, the two separate vagina can be seen. Then there can be anomalies of the hymen also. Now development of the external genitalia. ये जो diagram यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, most of the sources of development, they are seen in this picture. So if you can make out the cloaca, एलेंटॉइस, यूरोजेनाइटल साइनस, नीचे क्लोएकल मेम्ब्रेन भी दिख रहा है, पता लग रहा है क्लोएकल मेम्ब्रेन. एंड देन क्लोएकल मेम्ब्रेन इज सराउंडेड बाय genital folds and a tubercle is appearing. That tubercle is genital tubercle. So the external genitalia which we are going to discuss will be derived from the genital tubercle, genital folds and this cloacal membrane. Cloacal membrane divides into two structures जो हमने पहले भी देखा था. जैसे क्लोएका डिवाइड होता है तो क्लोएका का लोअर पोर्शन भी डिवाइड होएगा बाय द यूरोरेक्टल सेप्टम. So anterior portion will be the urogenital membrane and the posterior portion will give rise to the anal membrane. ये दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, this is the genital tubercle, this is the cloacal membrane and these are the genital folds. Which will be giving rise to the external genitalia. In both these terms are commonly used in case of males and females. यही genital tubercle term use होता है, genital fold use होता है term, and then this cloacal membrane, and it divides into the urogenital membrane and the anal membrane by the urorectal septum. So here you can recognize the genital tubercle. जो हमने genital folds देखे थे उसके लिए अब यहाँ पे terms, those folds they will be giving rise to what? They will be giving rise to certain swellings. Those are known as labioscrotal swellings. And then you can see those folds were surrounding the cloacal membrane, and cloacal membrane in its interior portion, that means the urogenital membrane, इसको surround करते हुए labioscrotal swellings दिख रही हैं, urogenital folds दिख रहे हैं, and then the genital folds, actually they are surrounded by certain swellings. They are the labioscrotal swellings, and then there is a tubercle, that is genital tubercle. This genital tubercle in females, it will give rise to clitoris. In males, it will be giving rise to penis. And labioscrotal swelling will be giving rise to labium majus in females and scrotum in case of males. In males, these labioscrotal swellings will be fused into one and they will be giving rise to a single sac-like structure, and that is scrotum. In females, these two swellings, the labioscrotal swellings, they will remain separate and the two labia majora will be developing. So, क्या terms हैं, तुम्हें ये क्या याद रखना है? Genital tubercle, genital swelling, and then these urogenital folds. Why these folds are urogenital folds? Because urethra will be passing through this urogenital membrane, and certain folds are appearing around the urethra, and they are urogenital folds. So in males also, the penile urethra will be passing through the penis, and then that will the portion of the penis through which the penile urethra passes, that is known as, मैं दोनों जो हमारा पार्ट मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम में बचा था वो भी अभी तुम्हें बता देती हूँ कि टर्म्स जो है वो कॉमन है. तो corpora cavernosa will be developing from these urogenital folds, and rest, that means genital tubercle will be giving rise to corpus spongiosum. So that will be it will be like that. And females, हमने in females we have discussed this thing. So in females, the development of the structures is estrogen dependent. The genital tubercle will be giving rise to the clitoris. In females, these urethral folds will be giving rise to labia minora. The labioscrotal swelling will be giving rise to labia majora, and the urogenital sinus will be giving rise to the vestibule. And vestibule, so vestibule will consist of two openings, the urethral opening and the vaginal opening. In females, there are three openings. One is for the urethra, one is for vagina, and then one opening is for the one is the anal opening. तो ये जो urogenital part है या urogenital membrane है, इसमें there will be two openings. So urogenital sinus will be giving rise to vestibule, and then it will be consisting of the two openings. One opening will be for the urethra and the second opening will be of the vagina. So this way this external genitalia will develop. So what are the anomalies associated with the external genitalia? There might be absence of the genital tubercle, which is very rare. There might be bifid or double clitoris. Then there might occur partial fusion of the urogenital folds. So there might be total absence of the external genitalia also. This is again a very important slide to compare which structure is giving rise to what and what. So gubernaculum is giving rise to what? It is giving rise to ovarian and round ligaments in females, and gubernaculum testis in males. Gubernaculum we have discussed. It is an important. तुम अभी आई हो? आगे बैठो यहाँ. अटेंडेंस के टाइम पे आई विल रिमेम्बर कि आई विल गिव यू अटेंडेंस फॉर दिस आवर ना. मीजोनेफ्रोज या वॉल्फियन जो डक्ट है, that will be giving rise to, in females there will be remnants only. So remnants are epophoron, paraoophoron, appendices, vesiculosa. In females it gives rise to, in males it is giving rise to the efferent ductules, epididymis, paradidymis and aberrant ductules. Paradidymis, actually vas differens also develops from this mesonephric duct. जितना भी पोर्शन हमने टेस्टिस के अलावा छोड़ दिया है, हमने क्या और डेवलप क्या हो रहा है? देयर इज एपिडिडाइमिस, देयर इज वास डिफरेंस, देयर आर seminal vesicles, देयर इज prostate gland. All those structures they are developing from the mesonephric duct in males. ठीक है, जो बाकी इसमें नहीं भी लिखा हुआ है, so that is also developing from the mesonephros. Then paramesonephric duct is giving rise to the fallopian tube, uterus and upper 1/3 of vagina in females. In males it is giving rise to the appendix of the testis and prostatic utricle. What is prostatic utricle? It is like an elevation kind of present in the prostate gland. So it is a part of the prostate gland. So that prostatic utricle is derived from the paramesonephric duct. Then the mesonephric duct, Yes, it is giving. Mesonephric duct will be giving rise to the duct of Gartner or epiphoron in females. Then parts of the bladder and urethra. So which part of the bladder is derived from mesonephric duct? Anybody? ब्लैडर जो है वो पूरा किससे डेवलप हो रहा है? ब्लैडर कहाँ से डेवलप हो रहा है? क्लोएका हमने डिस्कस करा था. क्लोएका का जो एंटीरियर पोर्शन है, दैट मीन्स the urogenital sinus which we have discussed, that is giving rise to bladder. लेकिन bladder में एक part है which is developing from the mesonephric duct. What is that? Trigone of the bladder. So trigone of the bladder is derived from the mesonephric duct by the openings of the two mesonephric ducts which will be incorporated into that. And then in males, the mesonephric duct is giving rise to the appendix of epididymis, the duct of epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, and then the parts of the bladder and the prostatic urethra. So the trigone part of the bladder, it is developing from that, and of course the urethra is developing from the mesonephric duct. Then genital folds, they will be giving rise to labia minora, and then the ventral penis also, some portion of the penis, not the whole penis. And genital tubercle is giving rise to clitoris and glans penis. So this is all about the development of the male and the female reproductive system. Male reproductive system we have discussed on the last turn, and the epididymis, vas deferens and the other structures, they are derived from the mesonephric duct. So this you have to remember.